guys, modify their cars as they see fit. So the great thing about having the format and the series, the way we run it is, there's no context, so there's less risk. Anybody's welcome to come with any
basically
type of
just
car.
test out your skills.
Yeah.
It's you against sort of the track and the clock.
That's it.
Exactly.
It's just you against the clock.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the AutoTrader podcast, SA's #1 motoring podcast. My name is Wandile Sishi, and today we're joined by racing royalty, Vilaca Racing, and their team that keeps the Vilaca Time Attack going is here today. And also we have one of my favorite cars, so I mean that's always good.
Good start.
It's always a good start. Let's start with Jono. Jono, so obviously Vilaca Racing, can you give us a little bit of background on what that is, and then maybe we'll go around the table and just introduce everybody before we get cracking.
Okay, cool. So Vilaca Racing is started in 2020 as a time attack series.
Yeah.
And first of its kind, really.
In South Africa, or I know like in
South
like
Africa?
Japan, for instance, there's always been like time attacks and stuff.
So time attack originally started in Japan
Yeah.
in the 90s, effectively. Very big in America from sort of 2004. It kind of started off in America in about 2004. There wasn't really anything here like it. There's been some sort of time trial series and some sort of time trial events, but as terms of like a time attack championship,
Yeah.
there was never anything like that. We started after COVID, 2020. We had our first event.
Was it an answer to COVID, or like why specifically after COVID we were like, let's start racing, let's go around the track?
So when I was younger, a lot younger, a child, I used to race competitively go-karts and single-seaters. I stopped racing, and then I used to race in a series called the Michelin Cup back in 2018, when it was still Michelin Cup. That was a little bit different. I had sort of 2 track events in a year, and I had a skid pan, I had a dyno day. And at that stage, then actually Vilaca Racing actually started as a parts manufacturing company.
Okay.
And I used to actually make and design billet aluminium parts for cars, aftermarket parts. And then I sort of stopped doing that. And then sort of after COVID, there was nothing really to do. And I then decided, well, I'm going to restart making the billet parts I was making before.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what, the only way to really kickstart and get your name back out there was to have an event. So that's actually what the basis was. It was a start of reopening my manufacturing company in terms of Vilaca Racing parts. And we had an event. It was such a hit that at the track, everybody was like, when's the next event?
Why specifically a time attack though? I mean, there's different sort of racing principles. Why did you identify that specific format as, the best one where people can kind of get involved and sort of experience like motor vehicles and racing as a whole?
So the great thing with time attack is there's no wheel-to-wheel racing. There's no contact.
Yeah.
So it's your performance with your car, irrespective of how much experience you have, irrespective of what car you have, and irrespective then again of which track layout we do, which direction we go. It's all down to that day, that event, and you push yourself.
Yeah.
And irrelevant of you don't have a lot of other elements and sort of, I would say, danger in a sense that's involved with having a contact racing. We also not needed to have a car with a roll cage, like a fully prepared race car. We have a lot of standard OEM cars, and the guys modify their cars as they see fit. So the great thing about having the format and the series, the way we run it is, there's no contact, so there's less risk. Anybody's welcome to come with any
basically
type of
just
car.
test out your skills.
Yeah.
It's you against sort of the track and the clock.
That's it.
Exactly.
It's just you against the clock.
So let me move on to Shailesh and Stephanie. So like obviously you're from Bridgestone. So like why did you identify this as sort of something to showcase the ability of the tires? Like why as a whole do you see sort of like the vision and the need to be a part of this?
So I think, without going on forever and a day, because we
yeah, we can.
Us motorsport people can talk forever about it.
Sure.
So I think very simply for us, it was a very real showcase of the product performance and the showcase of our product portfolio, which you have in front of you. And the Vilaca Racing community represents our target market for these products. So it was the perfect fit for both the brand as well as the product as well. So and then when we looked at the type of racing series that's available in South Africa, if you look at Vilaca Racing, it's a very unique formula, but it's a very real formula. So you're not dealing with professional racing drivers who have sponsors and who are backed by particular brands. You deal with everyday people.
Yeah,
there's a certain level of appeal that goes along with that, right? You're dealing with like-minded individuals who all have
it's like a community, really.
It's people who have interest in motorsport and who also race as a hobby, and who fulfill their passion of ever becoming a racing driver on the track in the
That's
series.
me every day, really.
Absolutely, it's all of us. So you're dealing with aspiring people, people who also buy our normal passenger products as well.
Yeah.
So, this is a good way to connect with them on a brand level, and also ensure that the rest of their vehicles carry our tires as well. So it's a really great way to connect, and it speaks to our strategy on a global from a global perspective. If we look at sustainable premium motorsport strategy that Bridgestone is heading into now in 2025. This fits under the grassroots level racing, which is more your sort of track day, time attack.
Exactly.
Less contact, more about the community and interacting and the fun of the event and the passion. And that's really what it's all about for us. So.
I mean, let's I think it's really important to emphasize that like racing as a whole is not a cheap sort of hobby or a sport as a whole, right? But I always say that tires and basically not just the engine, but everything that goes behind the entire sort of the
Package,
day is the most important thing. I mean, between you and crashing is your tires, right? But additionally, there's also oil and lube and all those things that sort of keep the engine running.
Exactly, yeah.
So like Stephanie, like what do you outside of Shailesh, like, why Motul?
To sort of mirror Shailesh is like tires and oils go hand in hand with really good performance. We know motorsport in general in South Africa has taken a little bit of a knock.
It has,
the last couple of years, I think, for various reasons, some macro elements as well. But I think some of the words that Shailesh uses really good. Performance, community, those are some things that we're trying to do at Motul as well. Like a lot of people know Motul internationally. A lot of people know us, from MotoGP, SBK, 24 Hours of Le Mans, the Dakar. These are all very rigorous playgrounds for people to test products, and it's great to see. But how do we showcase that on local soil, grassroots level kind of thing? And it's been important for us, with the Vilaca thing. There hasn't really been a series that you can showcase this, that you can actually talk to people face to face, to real people, to people that are under their cars until 2:00 in the morning. That you can talk your oil, that you can help from a technical point of view. You can emphasize the importance of running these beasts on good quality premium oil. Motul is we're established in 1853. We're French. A lot of people don't know us very well in South Africa. It's part of our sort of goal, our KPIs to educate people who we are.
The importance of having good quality. Yeah.
Just like it is on tires. It's important to run these cars on good rubber, and it's important to run it on good oil. And sometimes those are shortcuts people tend to take. And it's really important to the efficient running, to top performance.
Do you use the series as a way to kind of test out the products at all, or is it just
100%? I mean, that's part of it. That's why we've joined. So in terms of Vilaca Racing, we chased Motul and chased Bridgestone for a while. It's brands that I believe in, from personal experience. Because I mean, I've
from karting, from these are the products that you think,
actually playing into the single seater and as well into my own personal road car. Long before they came on board, these are products that I would buy, these are products that I would use, and these are products I will back. Which is 100% why I chased them to get involved and gave them the approach of going, this is what we're doing, this is why you should be involved. And in terms of that, everybody then gets the benefit of having the education, getting, Motul involved, from a technical point of view, in terms of being able to test your oil, in terms of why to use their oil, in terms of, just a general backing of having, a brand like, for example, like Motul behind you, is great. Engines are expensive, parts are expensive. If you use good products, they're going to last forever, In terms of like the tire, I couldn't think of a better tire that we could get for the series. The tried and tested Ori 11 S is been in South Africa, I think, for maybe 15 years, maybe longer.
Okay.
It was used in production car racing, Group N, and then when Bridgestone and Vilaca Racing came together as a long-term or longer-term partnership. We discussed about, we needed a tire that the guys can drive on the road and then drive to the track, go home with.
100%,
and that's, the new RE71 RS is absolutely perfect. It's road legal. We use it on the track. We've been doing a lot of testing with it. I mean, we ran at Festival of Motoring AutoTrader.
Yes.
Sharen did the full 3 days, 900 Ks of track driving on this tire, still drove home with it.
So I've actually... I'm not going to say that I race on the streets, but whenever I go around the track with professional racing drivers on track tires, it's a completely different experience to, when you kind of just driving around. So I completely subscribe to that notion that having the right sort of equipment is going to be the best sort of scenario for you, safety-wise, as well as just ensuring the longevity of your vehicle.
Correct. Yeah.
But let's talk about the actual event. When is the event, and sort of if somebody wants to take part in this, like how do they get involved?
So the events are open to anybody. So, I mean, we have anything from literally a mini GP1 all the way to a 911 GT3 that come to the event. So the events are the same, open to anybody that wants to come. You need a car, a license, a helmet, and come and have fun. That's what it's about. On the day at the event, we have a DJ, we have prizes, we have like simulator racing.
Is it classes, or is it just like, if I come with a Bugatti, am I just gonna just slay the?
No, so there is classes.
Okay.
There's like street frontal drive, rear wheel drive, four wheel drive, all the way up to what we call the super class, and then we have an unlimited class. So the super class is more for like your race car with like a roll cage, and your unlimited class, there's no rules. Let's bring whatever you've got. So everybody's classed, and there's a set of regulations for it that sort of you want to compete against cars that are similar to yours.
Yeah.
You don't want to have a mini GP1 racing against an M2. So, the mini GP1, whatever would race in like modified frontal drive.
Yeah, so it's not like it's a free for all.
No. So I think there's 9 classes in total. If you're not part of the registered for the year in terms of registering for the championship, we have what we call a daily class. Then it's a free for all. So it's like, you want to come for the day, you want to come and have a bit of fun. This is my track. I enjoyed this place, or I'm here today. Then you're welcome. We don't turn anybody away, and we want anybody that wants to be there to come. You don't have any additional licenses to buy or anything like that. So it's your entry fee, driver's license, over 18, car, helmet, go.
Stephanie, Shailesh, this question's for you guys. Like, if let's say hypothetically speaking, I come and I want to partake, do you guys sponsor like for all the drivers, or is it just like what's the involvement of the brands?
So from Bridgestone perspective, if I may, Steph,
go for it.
Every single Vilaca Racing member is entitled to special member pricing that we offer on our Bridgestone motorsport tires, as well as what we like to call a friends and family benefit on our passenger tires as well. So they benefit from both angles, both for their race car as well as their road cars as well. So that's a value that we bring to them as well. We also offer every single month we're doing something different. So we're running a different special, or there's different prizes up for grabs. So we make it quite.
It's not just the events; it's kind of long term.
Absolutely,
basically friends and family, like you said.
Absolutely, because at the end of the day, these guys are our unofficial brand ambassadors. They're experiencing the brand, they're experiencing the product, they're talking about it to their friends and family. So they are doing a great job for us as well. So
100%. Same sentiments or?
Sort of a little different. So we've worked closely with Jono. I mean, we don't normally retail direct to the public. So we've worked close with Jono. We've opened up a few retailers and workshops that obviously either service some of these cars or sell to the guys in the series. So we obviously work out special rates and deals with on our performance oils. So we've got a good basket of guys now on board, which is great, and it's good because they give us feedback.
Of course, yeah.
We, from a technical point of view, even if the oils are purchased through the different outlets, we still offer the technical backing. So we use local guys like WearCheck, and we can drain oils post and pre, sort of the track days, and give full analysis. I mean, we also offer, from going back to the technical, we had a tech talk noggin at our office, where it's kind of a platform for guys to come ask all the questions, like myth versus fact, run-in oils. Do you really get extra performance using a 3?
I was about to say, I mean, a lot of people don't really think of oil as super, people just don't think about it. No. They just do an oil change, but then would you say, what's the biggest differentiator between you and the competitors, for instance, in using your products?
So I think, to go back, it's what I said initially in the beginning. I think because our products are tested in all these playing fields globally, Motul has a really strong footprint, not only in motorsport, but in stuff for your daily cars as well, oils for your daily cars. But we use those. We've got an oil lab at all these places, at all these events that test the oil. I mean, we've got some partnerships with Gibson, which is one of the engines that run at Lamar, things like that. So a lot of the guys use our oils tested and give us that feedback.
That feedback,
Yeah, the thing is, some of our performance oils are ester based, which is quite niche on the market. So they're compatible, LSPI compatible. They're compatible with biofuels. A lot of these guys are running fuels that they need to go faster. So what's good is we've got a product called 300V. It's a flagship oil. It's ester based, and a lot of the guys in the series are running, and they've seen drop in temperatures, things like that, which is really important to running a car around the lap a couple of times.
The performance that you get on track versus daily, I mean, you're gonna see that long term on the daily basis. Definitely. Right? Really, time attacks are a great way to see the limits, essentially. But when it comes to road driving, that's where you kind of see the long term benefits of having great quality products.
Well, I mean, nothing tests a product like
racing. Yeah,
that's it. It's flat out. So I mean, I can vouch for the motor oil. I mean, I've got a 350Z that I ran nitrous on for 2.5 years. We literally blew the pistons out of it, but we took off the bearings. The lubrications was perfect. And I mean, that's with like I said, a shot of nitrous.
100%.
So that's there's nothing that tests anything in your mind, your focus, your ability. Like a time attack, it's a lot of pressure in a sense to get it right, because it's the lap that counts.
100%.
But I mean, it's a lot of fun.
I think with Motul also, we're very innovative, and I think, for lack of a better word, daring. So we want to push those limits. You want to test it, and it's great to have a series like the Vilaca series that you can do it on local soil, because yes, all of our stuff is tested internationally, but you kind of want the local South African
performs,
to see,
and
the guys coming to these, whether you're a full-time racing car driver, you're an enthusiast, or it's just a daily, the guys are like, geez, wow, that car is really running at optimum performance. What is he doing? What is he running? What makes his car that much better than the rest, kind of thing, or that the next person?
100%,
So,
and I think that in terms of the series as well, it's super diverse. I mean, we have I think this year we had 78 registered drivers this year, which was great. But out of the 78 that are registered, there's 70 different makes and models. So there are, for example, the Renault is very popular because it's a fantastic track car. So there's 3 of them, but then everything else is all different, either a different model or a different year or a newer version of facelift, so it's literally there's no other better place to go that you're going to see something that's extremely old to extremely brand new. And the thing is, the guys that actually come are proper enthusiasts. They bring their almost like your import specials.
100%,
I mean, we get a lot of JDM Evo. We've got an Evo 5, a 7, an 8, a 9. There's been a couple of Skylines that have come through, like R34, We've got an R32.
It's like an
in the
R&D
series.
session, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think the one piece is like, this is sort of extreme conditions. Let's consider this as extreme conditions and a test bed for all these, for our tires, for all our sponsors' products. But the one piece that I think it teaches the driver is how to be humble on track and sort of remove the ego element out of it, because a lot of people think that they become better drivers when they have faster cars and more expensive cars, and it's not usually the case. And if there's one thing that will humble you as a driver and teach you to respect your machinery, is going around the track
Against yourself, right? Not
space.
exactly, yeah.
Absolutely. So the safety piece is also something that comes out of it. You learn to respect your machinery, and you learn to actually become a better driver overall on the long term. So,
but I think it also comes back to like the community, right? So there are a lot of new guys that come through that have no track experience, and you actually see them develop, and get quicker and start asking sort of the right questions about, how am I going to get better? What do I do? How do you approach this corner? How do you change this? And also then, by them being there, they land up actually getting involved physically themselves in their own car and going, I'm going to change the suspension setup. I'm going to change my camber, and eventually they evolve into, quite a complete driver in a way that they can handle the car now that they've been driving on the road, that whether it's high horsepower or stock standard still, that now they go, I'm really confident now in driving. My driving ability has definitely improved.
100%.
And that's, again, part of the community. A lot of guys have got a lot of experience in the series, a lot of guys outside the series prior to it. But, it's the build-up that everybody then gets on really well, and then they keep coming back.
When's the next event before I...
The next event is in November the 9th.
Okay.
At Formula K Raceway in Benoni.
Yes.
So it's the last event, time attack event for the year.
Okay.
After that, we've got a event in Red Star Raceway called Ultimate Car and Driver, which is probably, it's never been really done before, where it's going to be a drag, 400-meter drag. It will then be a time attack on the circuit.
Yes.
And it will also be on the skip pan, which we're going to call grid, which is a mix between like an autocross / Gymkhana event. And that will be on the 9th of December. Top 20 shootout, 15 grand prize money for the winner.
We'll definitely leave all the details for anybody who wants to get involved. But yeah, thank you. I think maybe let's speak to somebody who's actually been on the track and tested other products, and then we'll take it from there. But thank you very much for joining.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, 100%. We'll if you want all the details, we'll definitely include them in the description. Thank you, Steve. Well, right now we're joined by actual racing drivers. I think it's one thing to just talk about the series, but it's another thing to get experience from people who do it on a daily basis. So we have two, basically there's a rivalry going on here, right? It's, it's not just friendly here. We're actually just talking racing here. So we have Jono and Calvin as well, who actually are in the series. So please, gentlemen, tell me exactly how you've experienced the series.
Okay, well, we'll start with me. So basically, I attended one event, I think back in 2020. And so I drive an A90 Supra. And I think that's basically what started off all of it. I think my first event was when he had it at Vereniging Karting Circuit. And
no, so I'll correct you. Your first event was 2021. Red Star Raceway.
Oh, that's right. Yes, correct.
It's your diary, yeah.
So start over, Johnny.
Yeah, so I arrived there with my car, and it was my first event, and didn't do too badly.
Yeah.
So it was okay. We did okay, and it just snowballed from there. I mean, I come from sort of almost like a racing background where I raced bikes younger.
Okay.
And I think we kind of look for more fun in it, because obviously I'm kind of older now, so the older you get, you don't bounce as well. So, just go try different avenues and go into the racing with Vilaca series and that. And haven't looked back. I've attended each one. So that's how I started, and I've just been involved and gotten more into it. And I love every event. It's so professionally run. Genuinely, it's top class. Everything is on time. It's safe.
It's just smooth, yeah.
100%.
Your experience, Calvin, is there, why this series versus anything else?
So I got dragged into it by one of my mates. Just kept begging me, come through. So
yeah.
It's like, yeah, I don't know how to turn a corner. I'm not very confident in going left and right.
Calvin comes from a drag racing.
So I was always in
background.
drag racing, and then, you know, got swooped into it with my, what did I start? My 140.
Yeah.
Started in my 140 BM, bone
Yeah.
stock, you know, get into it. Then you start chasing times. You want to better yourself, get better. So then it's suspension and tires and this and that, and you hustle a bit of bucks, start chasing, crash the car, whatever. And then,
He says he crashed the car. He
He
kissed
just
the
completely
tires.
destroyed it. Yeah.
He just kissed
I
the
kissed
tires.
the tires. It's still emotional.
And then
damn
cried
it.
about it for months. But
Has this
emotional.
experience sort of made you a better driver?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So Calvin
That's
was one of the guys that like didn't really have any track experience.
zero
background
track
at all.
experience.
So yeah,
So I came.
it doesn't
Same.
matter if you've kind of driven for years. You can come
Yeah,
fresh
you
and
can literally come. You feel you want to go around the track, rock up, enter the daily class, and enjoy yourself. And it's like Johnny says, it's safe. You class with people at the same pace. There's no wheel to wheel. There's no chip freeze wannabe coming to cut into your corner, and you know, there's none of that. It's completely safe, and it's all within your bracket.
I think one of the things is that a lot of the guys, because the community is quite tightly knit,
yeah.
everybody
Everybody
has
knows
a lot of,
everybody.
everybody has a lot of respect for each other.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
and everybody knows that, you know, there's no do or die moments here, you know. So on the track itself, there's a lot of track respect and etiquette, as we call it. And also in the rules in the series is, you know, we don't want anybody to have an accident. We don't want anybody to be scared, and we don't want it to have any accidents. So, you know, we take it super serious in terms of if there is a dangerous overtake or what could potentially turn into a dangerous overtake. So we monitor that quite strictly, and you know, everybody, you know, when the helmet goes on, everybody tends to forget the rules and everybody wants to be going for it, and this is their lap, and sometimes we have to, you know, sort of calm everybody down a little bit.
100%. Yeah.
But in general, you know, a guy like Calvin that had no motorsport background, never been on a track before, came for the day, enjoyed himself, I think.
Yeah, now I'm hooked. Now it's every event.
Yeah.
For anybody who wants to sort of get involved, like, what advice would you give them starting out?
Starting out, good safety equipment, number one.
Yeah.
Be safe. Make sure you got good brakes, good brake fluid, RBF 700. Good tires, RE71s for me. And yeah, just be safe and just enjoy yourself, and just make sure the car's safe. Brakes and tires are your main.
Well, I just want to touch on something as well, like Calvin, and this is the thing. It's like it's a series for everyone, and when you kind of get into your car, you firstly respect other people and respect other users that are using the same track, even though we are classed in similar times. First time out, I know we all see red mist and we really want to go balls to the wall, but you got to
Just take it easy.
You've got to understand and realize slow and steady wins the race, and like understand what's happening in the turns and to prevent understeer and learn your markers. So always, like even with Calvin, I mean, when he first started there, he was probably doing like maybe 17s as one corpse, nice down to an 11. You know what I mean? It's just experience that comes with it, where he understands he can brake later, he can turn later, the level of grip that varies, and
the confidence level as well.
Confidence of knowing
his
your car.
abilities, you know, his ability as well, and the understanding of what the car is going to do now. He's learned
but
to
that's what I'm trying to say, Jono. As they progress more into the series and they start,
You don't want to be Lewis
Understand.
Hamilton, like from the get-go, yeah.
but that will never happen. I mean, unless you've got bags of experience and you really know what you're doing.
Or you mean-
it's not your first time on the track, you know. So
Talking about
then you
yourself
start
there.
understanding like how different pressures affect your tire, and then how you adjust your damping and your compression, and how it changes the car, and different cambers and different setups for different circuits, you know. So
It's a journey, right?
it's exactly that's what it is, and by you getting involved in this, you're constantly always learning, you know what I mean? I remember the first day, I mean, I went to the first event and I think I was on Cup 2s. Like, nah, I want a road tire that I can drive to the track and drive home. And John was like, no, get on RE11, semi-slicks, they'll be fast. And I'm like, never. And to my detriment,
we had an argument for quite a while about this.
Massive difference, yeah.
We actually even took, I think we even took a bet. So I said, if you don't go faster
Yeah.
on the RE11, I'll pay for them.
But to the detriment, and this is where our RE71 has come in. And it's been a godsend because it's probably still faster than a Cup 2 tire all day, every day. And you can drive the track and you can drive home, and it's dot approved. And so it's literally a godsend. And we thank Bridgestone for bringing that tire in.
It's an awesome tire.
They must just bring in a different size.
I mean, the technology that they put in this tire versus, I mean, like I said, you know, the 11 has been around for 15 plus years, probably. But the 11 is a dedicated race tire. And
tried and tested.
Out of the back-to-back testing that we've done between the two, the 71 that's street legal, that you can drive to the track, drive on the road, is just as fast.
Through the rain.
That's incredible. Before I leave, boys, I'm an F1 fan, so I just want to know who we're supporting. What do you think is going to happen next year? Where do you stand?
The problem is I'm going to throw a huge spanner in the works. I'm not a big Formula One fan.
Oh, jeez.
Ask me about it.
you know what the problem with that is that if he wins the championship this year, the prize this year is 2 tickets to the Formula One next year.
Can we change it for MotoGP?
Let me go.
No, look, in all honesty, like I enjoy the mechanical side of Formula One and the ins and outs of it, because that technology basically just filters into our road cars after a few more years, you know. So that side of things is phenomenal. And
so you're on the fence. You're not supporting anybody. You're just supporting the sports.
I support the sport,
German.
For me, I'd have to say F1, probably Norris and McLaren. Something.
Okay.
I think they're coming up.
But your insight, who are you supporting?
Me. Lewis Hamilton. Everybody knows. Lewis Hamilton always. But we'll see next year. I think he's going to Ferrari, so we'll see.
Yeah, I think you're both all wrong. I think we'll have to wait another year for Aston Martin with Fernando Alonso.
This podcast is now over because no supporters. But thank you very much, gentlemen. It's been an awesome show.
Thanks for having us, man.
We'll see you guys at the next event.
Awesome. Thank you.
Ciao.
Search AutoTrader.